everything's set up. So this is gonna be a pretty laid back type of video, but I have to address a few things. So kind of the main thing that I want to address is why my upload schedule is just absolutely bonkers. Um so when it comes to uploading, I'm absolutely bipolar, all right? I only do it if I'm absolutely feeling it, and that will be for about a week, and then after that I'm kind of just like whatever. You know, it's seasonal basically if I had to like put a specific word to it, seasonal uploading. I'm not always interested in doing it, especially because I'm very prone to take retention and likes to heart. Although, I mean, I really shouldn't. I'm a channel with I think 10 subscribers, so like a lot of them honestly are family members and friends that watch it every time I upload. Just kind of not even every time, but just kind of see what I'm up to, I guess. But the main thing I want to cover is why I haven't been, and or why I want to get back into it. So, as of now, by the way, I am sick. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's GI flu because that's like the only thing I can think of right now. I'm kind of grasping at straws. So, being out of school for a week means I can upload. If I'm feeling up to it, that is. This is kind of like the one thing right now I'm really feeling like doing. Um, so recently, as in the past, I don't know, year or so, I have had some relationship issues with my mother. Uh, Mainly her disapproval of aspects of my life that she shouldn't have a say in, like my relationship with my girlfriend, who I've been dating for, I mean, a year and a month now. Like, October 5th was the year month uh, anniversary. So, with that in mind, when she started making comments about 6 months after I started dating Paige on our relationship, because I hadn't been showing up over there as often, it it struck a nerve. Um, I said things that probably weren't true, but I said a lot of things that were true and that she couldn't just handle. You know, as a lot of helicopter insane parents will do. They won't handle the truth that their children present to them simply because they don't think it's true or they don't want to consider another option. With that being said, her main comments, I won't reveal because it's not the internet's business, but a lot of them were just things you shouldn't say about someone that you've met one time. That's all I'm going to say. Like, heinous stuff, really. But, and so I let her know, her motherhood hasn't been great. Um, and that was kind of that. We really haven't had a close relationship since then. And that's as deep as I'll take it regarding that. That's a whole, like, can of worms that I'm not here to open. What I'm here to really talk about, and this, I haven't scripted this at all. This is like off the top of my head, so it a lot of it's going to sound like jargon and unrelated. Sometimes I tend to get off topic, but it's the central point. So, recently, in regards to, I have no clue, to be honest, I've had a lot more anxiety. So, some background as to that. Um, I've always had lingering people pleaser anxiety, but it's never been worse than that. But I always did kind of think I had an anxiety disorder, which is odd of me to think that just because I, I mean, I never had panic attacks, or at least I didn't have them often enough for that to really be a possibility, to be honest. But more recently, uh, it it escalated more about over the past week, but I want to say over the past month, or not even over the past week, like the past 2 weeks, but over the past month or two, I've just I've been under a lot of stress. I am in my Technology Center's Health Careers program to get my CNA certification, which I already have, but I joined it in the hopes that I would learn more about the profession that I'm certified in. However, I have made absolutely no strides in new knowledge on that career front, like bar none, absolutely none. So I took that horribly, mainly because um, there were other classes I wanted to take that I didn't take because I'm gonna attempt to get a career in nursing. So I figured what I would actually use as my career versus something I would use just as an activity or hobby, it would be a better idea to set it career oriented. But that ended up not being the decision I wanted to make because it wasn't the one I was happy with. And I've never been one to really consider happiness over other things, other important things, because I think that when I consider the important things, if I succeed with those things, then happiness is a fulfillment. I'll be fulfilled if I adhere to the goals otherwise that I set for myself. And it doesn't work like that. It just simply isn't like that. And I haven't been to a therapist in 3 years, and I only originally went because of family issues. It was family therapy. But I largely had other stuff going on that I would talk about, mostly social groups and friend groups I was in at the time, and being kicked out of them essentially for other things, but that's not important. So my education at my technology center has been straining me, if that's the word I'm looking for. I don't know. But aside from that, general schooling has been more anxious for me this year because I've always been good in the classroom, but I never enrolled in advanced classes because in my mind they were a waste of time. And being in them now, I understand that that was a complete misstep in my judgment. They are absolutely worth my time. They have genuinely helped me become better at the subjects I'm in advanced classes for, which this year it consists of AP English and AP Math. However, there's no other AP classes that I have. They aren't offering any more this year. However, that has put a lot of stress on me in the sense that my AP teachers, while they have helped me get better at said subjects, at least at my school, the AP teachers believe that AP classes means just making the classes harder without proper explanation of the subject and leaving a lot of it to just critical thinking and guessing. To an extent, that's true. Otherwise, it isn't. They are still supposed to teach the class, and they don't really teach them, or if they do, they teach it poorly. Or they're just nitpicky about things. So, yeah. And it's honestly really hard for me to make these types of videos just off the top of my head, so forgive my bouts of silence, I guess. Aside from that, I'm 16. I have my driver's license, and I don't have bills per se, but I help pay for things, and I like having money. But I quit my CNA job because they were making me work 5 nights a week after school until 10 p.m. That's a reality a lot of people deal with as an adult, and that's normal for them. That's their school, essentially. It's where they do their work. I'm supposed to be doing my work at school. They do their work at their jobs. But when you combine those two, and you're given a 6-hour shift after school, or no, an 8-hour shift after school until 10 p.m., 5 nights a week, and your only alternative is working 16 hours a day on the weekend, you realize that your options are limited and absolutely ridiculous. So I quit working there and haven't found a job since then because the overworking they did to me and just the heinous work schedule has led me not to want to work, which isn't an option for me whatsoever. But I put myself in this position because I started seeking out jobs the moment I turned 16. So if you can't tell, I try to stay work and career oriented, but it tends to not work out very well for me. And hindsight's 2020, and I'm now seeing I should have probably just stuck to being a child for a little longer. Just because, it's a lot of stress, So, where I'm going with this, all that together has caused a lot of stress recently. Now, that stress has built up and not gone spoken about, very much at all, really. And as a result of this, I have a lot of built up anxiety over things. I have always considered my mental health to be subpar, and especially in certain situations. I'm hot-headed. I don't have a great temper. As a result of this, it causes me to damage friendships and relationships, and I make decisions on whims sometimes that end up being absolutely awful. And this is important because my decision to enter the health careers class after already having my CNA has costed me a lot of happiness, I want to say. It's costed me a lot of time. And I can't switch classes until January. As per the, regulation they have. I have no idea. It's, in my opinion, it's stupid. But, this anxiety has gotten to the point where nearly every day I will have a mild panic attack, or anxiety attack, I should say. And I'm not going to lie, for a long time, I smoked marijuana. And just recently, I've stopped because I noticed even the slightest high from it would cause anxiety attacks. And I think that this partially does contribute to it, but I don't think that it's the overall cause or root of the issue. Now, I also, not having a strong relationship with really either of my parents, that's caused a lot of heartache. I've my whole life, essentially been self-taught to deal with things on my own. I don't seek help from people even when I know I should. Which, I know better, is what I'm trying to say. And this anxiety has caused me to underperform in school. It's caused me to become lazy in looking for employment, although recently I have submitted my resume to the hospital. But the job search is still not going well because I talked to someone who works there and she says they may not have room for employment there. So that's, I don't know. I'm not making this video for my loyal fans or whatever. This is, as of now, the only outlet I have to do this. And it helps me to talk about it. And I'm more of a person who likes to talk about it than do about it, but I still always try my best to do about it because I'm well aware that's an important part of getting over whatever's ailing me. And as I already said, as of now, I'm sick. So, if you want an idea of how bad the anxiety has gotten for me, I took a biomed class. I'm in nursing school, so I began showing flu-like symptoms without the congestion. Generally, that leads me to think, through my own research, that I have GI flu. But for the first about day and a half I was sick, I had convinced myself that I had rabies. Mind you, while I did recently take in a stray cat, she is a kitten, She does not have rabies, and I know this because I've had her for a month, and she would have exhibited some signs of rabies by now, and she hasn't. So I essentially convinced myself irrationally that I had rabies for about 2 days, and it didn't. And this caused lingering anxiety for these 2 days straight. I convinced myself at one point that if I went to sleep, I would die. Among other things that I had convinced myself. What I'm saying here is, I mean, I'm also a bit of a hypochondriac, but it's never been that serious. I've never thought I had some life-threatening disease before. So, I'm attempting now to seek therapy because I don't really know what to do with myself, I guess. I've tried everything I can think of, from watching silly psychiatric YouTube videos to genuinely asking help from people and telling people what's going on. But I've largely now considered at least distancing myself from my friend group, and I have deleted all forms of social media, including YouTube, off of my phone. This is just maybe to find what the root of the anxiety is. I've also noticed recently topics on horror, gore, drug use, illness has caused anxiety flare-ups. So I've begun avoiding things like that. I think a lot of it stems from a fear of death. This isn't something many people know about. I mean, I'm not super open about my fear of death. I don't like having existential conversations. I believe in an afterlife. I'm a Christian, but I can't say I follow my religion or the teachings of it as well as I should be. Taking all of that into consideration, all in all, TLDR, facing anxiety about a lot of general things people would normally have mild anxiety over, whereas I have begun having full-blown anxiety attacks in the middle of nowhere, just for absolutely no reason, or pertaining to those topics. And I'm not at the moment able to seek therapy, but I'm attempting to. A lot of this also is stemming from the fact that I'm unemployed, I'm not enjoying my school life, and I'm sick. So, yeah, just kind of putting the word out there is all this is for. This isn't for garnering attention. This is just to talk things out with myself, essentially. I mean, I'd also like, honestly, to bring awareness to my channel. It's a small channel. Little itty-bitty channel, actually. Like 10 people are subscribed. So this is also going to be an advertisement of me planning to make more videos soon, because I'm going to be out of school for like a week, so I might as well find something to do to occupy myself in the meantime while I have social media deleted as well. Just talk to someone if you're experiencing things like I am. It really does help. You can find someone to talk to. It may be difficult, but it wasn't for me. I just think if you have someone you care about, they probably care about you, and you should talk to them if you're given the opportunity to. So, my mental health, it's in a decline right now, but I do plan to make videos. I didn't ever really want to step away as a content creator, I guess. Although it is subpar content creation. But I plan to stay. And it's always been in the back, recently it's been in the back of my head more, that I want to keep creating content. Not only just because I enjoy video games and I don't give myself many opportunities to enjoy them outside of this, but also hopefully to make a career out of it, if at all possible. Most likely won't happen, but it could. I'm thinking on some things right now. Heavy stuff At least I consider it to be. I take myself very seriously with mental health. Um, just that, I guess that's really all I have to say. I'm horrible at remembering things and talking points in videos like this. Again, I don't script these, so I don't know what I'm going to say before I just start talking. I apologize if it's kind of seemed to go nowhere, I guess, or if it's seemed all over the place. That's kind of just how I am. But yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say on the matter. Just be careful. If you see something, say something. If you're going through something, tell someone. Generally, just take care of yourself. Not like me. Over the past year, I've gained 50 pounds because I stopped working out. But I plan to go back. Mental health rejuvenation. I feel like that would help me a lot personally, so I'm going to invest more time in, I guess, mature activities that I enjoy. Fitness, writing. I don't really always enjoy reading, but I'm open-minded to it. But I guess that's okay. That's really all I have to say this time. So I'm going to go. But take care.